Welcome back to East by West Farms, where we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. In this video I will talk about a traditional way of doing fencing. This tree that you see right behind me, that one here, that's an Osage Orange tree. It's very characteristic because of its sweeping branches that start drooping. It's a very thick trunk, and then it has all these branches that go out. Characteristic for the Osage Orange is the fruit. They are like softball size, yellowish fruits. My understanding is that they're not edible. I think there are some YouTubers who actually try to eat them. There's no known animal that actually eats that fruit. Scientists speculate that some of the dinosaurs were eating this fruit, and dinosaurs are gone, as we all know. The tree is still here, so a very interesting old style tree that has survived the ice ages and some major developments in Earth history. My understanding is that the original distribution of the Osage Orange trees is just about right here in north central Texas. One of the nice properties about this tree is that it has some pretty severe spikes. They're not very long, not very big, but they hurt quite a bit. I ran into one a few days ago and I still can feel it. What some of the early settlers did, they systematically planted Osage Orange tree around their field to keep the cattle in and animals that they didn't want to have in their field out. We do have a deer problem in our vegetable garden. We have a video on that you can see right up here. We had deer coming in, they ate all of our sweet potato leaves. We do have some fish line fencing around that seems to be working okay. One of the things we will do is collect some of the Osage Orange fruits, get the seeds out, and then plant Osage Orange trees around our property. We'll also plant an alleyway along the driveway, and then I plant a fence, Osage Orange fence around the front of our property. We have an unpaved road running in front of our property. We've got a fair amount of traffic that stirs up a lot of dust, and that dust settles, of course, on our farm. So we try to prevent this and want to use this as some noise screening as well. We have 6 or 7 different trees at the end of the property. Some have larger fruits, some have smaller fruits. I'm not sure if the size of the fruit grows when the trees get older, or if that is just a different variant of the same tree. I'm going to collect a bunch of the Osage Orange fruits, put them in a bucket, let them ferment over winter, and then plant them out in early spring next year. I'm here at the back of our property that's towards the north side of the property. We've got a little seasonal creek running through that has water when it rains. It's wooded area. We have mostly hackberry trees in here. We've got honey locust where it's a little bit more sunny. We do have ash junipers, and I have another video where I showed you what we're doing with ash junipers. So all native trees here mostly, and then we do have the Osage Orange. To me, looking around, I've got one Osage Orange tree right here. I've got one big one behind me. This one here is a small one that's self-seeded, so not very old. And then if we go down into the woods, there's another big one a little bit further out. And in this direction, there's one in the middle of the woods. and another one. So it looks like they are all pretty much aligned. My guess would be that that area here used to be a homestead, that we had some farmer here. It gets pretty hot in summer. Without air conditioning, you probably want to be in a sheltered place that kind of keeps the sun from burning on the roof of your house. Haven't seen any foundation here yet. We've seen a bunch of old bottles. Now, I'm not an expert in bottles, so I don't know how old they are, but maybe some of you can tell us a bit about the age of these bottles. My guess would be that that used to be a homestead area as opposed to up on the street where we now have electricity and water, but it's pretty exposed in the sun. There's almost no shade. Air conditioning makes it possible, of course, so we do have the trade-off. Either we go down here and have a huge driveway, or we are up on top of the hill close to the access road with electricity and water all over here. Wow, look at this tree. That must be one of the biggest Osage Orange tree that we have here on the property. It's just going all over the place. I mean, there are 3 or 4 different trunks. The branches are swooping up and coming down in these very characteristic bows. And then we've got this thicket here that's pretty much impenetrable with all the spikes here on the young shoots. So if I was a deer, I would certainly not try to go through there. If I was a cow, I would not go through there. I would find some other way of finding food or whatever I want to do. My understanding is that the old farmers, before they had barbed wire, they used to grow saplings, let them grow for a year or 2 and then bend them back so that it goes an arch. And then they started weaving the arches together so that you got a thicket of impenetrable spikes that nobody really wanted to go through. Now these trees are all grown out. I do not know if those used to be fences and the trees just grow out because nobody trimmed them for many years, or if they really grew natural here and there's never been a fence. At some point I will map out the different trees and see if they line up in any deterministic pattern. We're going to build our fences with Osage Orange tree. That's going to take a few years. I believe that this is the best thing of using natural resources to protect our garden against the predators. Oh, there's a big spider. It's been a few weeks since I collected the Osage Orange fruits. I collected them in 2 buckets. They've been breaking down. They start out with this bright yellow color and eventually end up into some black kind of mass. Let me break one apart. Right. You see the seeds right here, so I want that all to break down. If I take the original one, they have this sticky latex in here that's really nasty to work with. The decomposed Osage Orange fruits are a lot easier to work with than the sticky ones. That's an intermediate one that kind of starts on the way of decomposing. And they actually do smell really good. Flies seem to like them too, so it's good to keep them outside of the house. So I'm going to keep them here for a while. They're going to collapse down. See if I find some more and top them off. And then in spring, we're going to make this into a slurry and plant them around the driveway. And then we'll plant some of them around the garden to keep deer and other predators out. So we're going to wait until March and then put it out in the landscape. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And if you want to follow our adventures with the East by West Farms, hit the subscribe button and you get a notification every time we post a new video.